Sleepers! Let's go. All right, listen, we got 9 sleepers for you this week. If you don't know who I am, my name is James Coe, aka the Sleeper King. I am an award-winning, long-time fantasy football analyst. I've worked at NFL Network, DirecTV, Red Zone. I've worked at Amazon Prime Sports. I've worked in a lot of different spots. Anyways, if you appreciate the video, if you appreciate the info, hit that like, hit that subscribe. Let's get going. All right, let's start at the quarterback position. Michael Penix is at home taking on Buffalo. And listen, boys, it is very important that he's playing at home. There are some serious home road splits developing right now for the young Michael Penix. Across 9 total games, he's played 5 at home and 4 on the road. At the friendly confines of Mercedes-Benz, he has a 65% completion rate. That's pretty good. 7 total touchdowns in those 5 games. Again, pretty good. And 3 interceptions. On the road, his completion percentage drops by 11 points to 54%. He has just 1 touchdown in those 4 road games, and he's got 3 interceptions in those 4 games as well. And I really don't hate the matchup against the Bills either. I don't think this defense at this point is scaring anybody. To me, this is a very middle-of-the-road defense. Look, it's true, they have allowed the 2nd fewest pass yards. That being said, they haven't necessarily seen a murderer's row of passers here, okay? They've seen Spencer Rattler, Tua Tagovailoa, who historically is terrible against Sean McDermott and his Bills defense. And they've also seen Justin Fields, who got concussed midway through that game. I am anticipating Michael Penix to have a solid 2-touchdown game. Mac Jones taking on the Tampa Bay Bucks. I'm a little bit worried about this one due to the injury. But man, the matchup is right. The Bucks give up the 5th most fantasy points per game to the quarterback position. And they're fresh off of a game where they allowed Sam Darnold to slice and dice him. He got him for 4 scores last week. Mac Jones dealing with that knee injury, but against a much tougher Rams defense, Jones threw for 342 yards with 2 touchdowns. I think Mac Jones is a perfect fit for this Kyle Shanahan offense, and it's a pretty good matchup as well. Mac Jones, one of my favorite streamers this week. Wherever you stand on the Bryce Young debate, it doesn't really matter. He's taken on the Dallas Cowboys defense, and man, Dallas has been straight up dukes against the pass. Not only have the Dallas Cowboys allowed the most fantasy points per game to this position group, let me ask you a question. Is it bad that literally every single quarterback that they have faced has scored 24 fantasy points against them? I don't know about you, that seems bad. Hey, and look, I get it, okay? Bryce Young has been extremely up and down this season. But to be fair, the team did trade away Adam Thielen, his favorite target. Xavier Legette missed a couple of games. But Young is now coming off of a 2-touchdown performance against Miami, and he potentially has Jalen Coker coming back as well, adding another weapon to that passing attack. A wide receiver core of Jalen Coker, Xavier Legette, and freaking Tet McMillan, it's actually a strong trio. Every other week, it feels like we're saying Jacory Croskey-Merritt, oh, it's his time to shine. But man, I feel like it is his time to shine this week. Bill is obviously coming off of a monster performance last week, 111 yards on the ground on just 14 carries. 2 touchdowns later, I don't know how you don't play this guy against the Chicago Bears, who are arguably the worst rush defense in the NFL. Chicago not only has allowed the most rush yards per game to the running back position, man, the 6.05 yards per carry allowed to that position group, that is far and away the worst mark in the league. The Giants are 2nd worst at 5.61 yards per carry allowed, and league average, it's 4.3. I know this game got away from the Chargers, but that being said, Jacory Croskey-Merritt did have a season-high snap count and snap share. His 49.1 snap share led all Washington running backs. I think Washington would be absolutely insane to not allow JCM a full runway and a full complement of snaps this week. Ring that bell, because this is a deep sleeper alert. Kimani Vidal is in such an interesting spot against Miami. Look, I don't have a great read on this Chargers backfield, and anyone who says they do is lying to you. But I do know this. Vidal has a better overall skill set than Hassan Haskins. To me, Haskins is also in a good spot. Mark him down as a sleeper as well, but he's an early down thumper. Vidal's a more explosive athlete, and he's a much better pass catcher out of the backfield as well. If you were to tell me that Vidal is going to see 50% snap share in this backfield. I would tell you that Vidal is going to finish as a top 20 running back this week. And it's not just because I liked what I saw on film as a college prospect, but it's also because of the matchup. The Dolphins are straight up atrocious against the run. Not as bad as the Bears, but still 5.57 yards per carry allowed to opposing running backs. That's the third worst in the NFL. The Dolphins are also second worst in explosive run rate allowed. Maybe I've had too much coffee, I don't know, but I could see Kimani Vidal catching a seam and taking one for a deep run. He probably ends up playing like 25% of the snap and does nothing, but I'm just saying, deep sleeper, Kimani Vidal, let's go. Hey, listen, if we like Mac Jones against Tampa Bay, we should like Kendrick Bourne against Tampa Bay as well. Ricky Pearsall has already been ruled out. Jawan Jennings, he's no lock to play either. Limited in Thursday's practice as he is working through ankle and rib injuries. Even if he does go though, I still like Kendrick Bourne as a sleeper play this week. Troy Franklin is in a pretty interesting spot against the Jets. Gangrene has allowed the fourth most receiving yards to receivers in the slot this year. And not only that, they're giving up chunk plays to receivers inside as well. 11.3 yards per target. That's the worst mark in the NFL. Troy Franklin has obviously been very up and down in the box score, but he is very clearly the number 2 wide receiver in Denver. He's second on the team in targets, routes run, receptions, and receiving yards. I want you to ring up that bell actually 2 more times. We're going to close this out with 2 deep sleepers. Elic Ayomanor, if you are in a desperate spot at wide receiver, has a really good matchup against Las Vegas. Ayomanor has played 85% of his snaps lined up as an outside wide receiver. Meanwhile, the Las Vegas Raiders, they have given up the 3rd most fantasy points per game to wide receivers lined up outside. Ayomanor obviously flopped last week, and Tennessee's offense is... it's just not very good. So I get it. It's a scary start. That being said, Q Blue Kelly for the Raiders has been an absolute turnstile. He has allowed the 3rd most receiving yards according to Next Gen Stats. And I have him ranked as the 66th best corner based on a composite score using 9 different cornerback metrics. Long way of saying he's not very good. But here's the thing. Elic Ayomanor, he lines up on the left side of the football field 56% of the time. Why is this important? But here's the thing. Ayomanor has lined up 56% of the time on the left side of the football field. Why does that matter? Well, that's the exact same side that Q Blue Kelly is on. Maybe we're just talking about 2 or 3 extra good snaps here, but that's okay. For wide receivers, all it takes is 1 play sometimes to be profitable as a deep sleeper flex. All right, and finally at tight end, if you're looking to stream this position, you need a little bit of help here. Hunter Long. Taking on the Seattle Seahawks is a deep sleeper. Brenton Strange, he's on IR and the matchup is good. The Seahawks have allowed the 4th most fantasy points per game to the tight end position, and somehow, some way, remember this is tight end now, they have allowed 5 different tight ends to score double-digit PPR points through 5 games. And can I say this? You probably don't know anything about Hunter Long, and I don't blame you. He's a 5th-year player. This is his 1st year in Jacksonville. Previously, he played for the LA Rams. That's important. Remember, Liam Cohen is a Sean McVay guy. I think it's a strong possibility that Hunter Long ended up in Jacksonville because of that. And again, as a 5th-year player, he's got a pretty good understanding of that McVay-style playbook. I think he can apply some of that to this Liam Cohen playbook as well, which may be why he's been in a lot of high-leverage situations already. Only 8 catches on the year, 2 of them have gone for touchdowns. All right, that's it for me, man. Again, if y'all appreciate the info, hit that like, hit that subscribe. We'll see you next week. But remember, it's never too late to chase your dreams. Peace.